The Young and the Restless spoilers in recent months, an increasingly vocal segment of fans has been clamoring for a significant shift in Sally's character arc on The Young and the Restless. They argue that it's time for her to break away from the good girl image and shed the constraints of her formerly manipulative yet calculating persona. The demand is clear: transform Billy Abbott for the better and evolve beyond the role of the deceitful, scheming woman who once did everything to get what she wanted. This begs the question, has Sally become too weak or too complacent? And should she perhaps embrace a more tumultuous, fiery path reminiscent of the red-hot persona she once hinted at? The duality, good girl versus bad girl. For years, Sally's character has embodied a delicate balance between ambition and vulnerability. Originally introduced as a cunning schemer with a knack for seduction, she flirted with danger and chaos, setting in motion plots that shook up the Abbott family dynamics. Her early days saw her targeting key players like Jack Abbott, using her charms to maneuver within the elite circles of the GC board. The intrigue intensified as she engaged in power plays and rivalries, particularly with Summer Newman, with whom she shared a bitter and complex history. Yet, over time, Sally's journey took an unexpected turn. Following a series of missteps, including an infamous attempt to divide the Abbott family by pitting Summer against Kyle Abbott, her plans were foiled when Phyllis Summers uncovered her schemes. This setback, however, was just a turning point rather than an endpoint. Instead of doubling down on her scheming ways, Sally gradually distanced herself from the overt chaos that had once defined her. She embarked on a path of self-preservation and maturity, eventually earning respect by avoiding trouble and choosing a more stable relationship with Billy Abbott, a choice that, ironically, has led to a perception of dullness. The evolution and its impact. The evolution of Sally's character from a fierce, cunning provocateur to a more tempered, perhaps even nice, figure has had a profound impact on the storyline. While stability can be an admirable quality, the stark contrast between her previous edgy self and her current, subdued demeanor has left many fans longing for the passionate, unpredictable woman she once was. The transformation has sparked a debate among viewers: is Sally's current approach too weak, or does it represent a necessary maturation that can serve as a foundation for deeper character exploration in the future? Critics of the current arc argue that Sally has lost her spark. The once fiery redhead who was unafraid to shake up the status quo now appears to be content with the safe harbor of a predictable life. Her shift away from calculated manipulation to a more straightforward, relationship-oriented existence has not resonated with fans who thrived on her earlier complexity and willingness to disrupt the order at GC. Many believe that her past, filled with cunning maneuvers and high-stakes gambles, was far more engaging. They long to see Sally reignite her rebellious spirit, challenging the established norms and reintroducing that dangerous, magnetic energy that defined her earlier exploits. A call for change. The fan perspective. The clamor for change isn't merely a nostalgic yearning for past drama, it is a call for a reawakening of Sally's inner fire. Fans are speculating that if Sally is to reclaim her lost edge, she may need to confront a formidable adversary, another redhead with an equally potent personality, Phyllis Summers. The idea of a battle of the redheads is gaining traction among viewers, who see in such a showdown the potential for a dramatic resurgence of both characters' hidden depths. Phyllis Summers, who has long been a thorn in Sally's side, represents everything that Sally might have once aspired to become or vehemently opposed. The tension between these two characters could serve as the catalyst for a transformation, pushing Sally out of her complacency. A head-to-head confrontation with Phyllis could force Sally to dig deep into her reservoir of cunning and strength, reviving the fiery persona that captivated audiences in the early days of the show. The potential for redemption and renewal. An important aspect of this proposed character evolution lies in the idea of redemption. It is one thing to revert to a more chaotic, manipulative character, but it is another to do so with an underlying purpose. Perhaps even a desire to reform someone like Billy Abbott, who has his own share of personal demons. By reigniting her old self, Sally could bridge the gap between her past transgressions and her current state, creating a nuanced narrative where she is not just reverting to old habits, but is actively engaging in a battle for the betterment of those around her. Imagine a storyline where Sally, now reawakened to her inner fire, starts to challenge the status quo at GC once more. Instead of merely scheming for personal gain, she could target systemic issues within the organization, leveraging her sharp wit and unyielding spirit to bring about change. In this scenario, her conflict with Phyllis would not be simply personal rivalry, it could evolve into a larger commentary on power dynamics, ambition, and the possibility of personal transformation. By confronting Phyllis, Sally might reveal that her seemingly good choices were, in fact, compromises made in the face of overwhelming pressure, and that a return to her original, bold self is both inevitable and necessary. Character depth and narrative complexity. The potential transformation of Sally is more than just a shift in behavior, it represents a deep exploration of character complexity and the nature of identity. On one hand, Sally's initial rise to power was built on her willingness to manipulate, seduce, and provoke conflict. On the other hand, her retreat into a more conservative, good persona suggests a fear of repeating past mistakes or a desire to be seen as more respectable. However, the inherent contradiction in these two facets of her personality makes her a compelling character. It is this internal conflict, between the allure of power through manipulation and the safety of conventional morality, that can drive a rich, layered narrative. Her potential confrontation with Phyllis Summers could serve as a mirror reflecting these internal battles. As the two redheads clash, viewers could witness not just an external conflict but also a symbolic struggle within Sally herself. Is the fiery, manipulative redhead still alive, waiting to reclaim her space in the spotlight? Or has she been permanently tamed by the demands of respectability and stability? The resolution of this conflict would not only define Sally's character going forward but also set a precedent for how the young and the restless navigates the fine line between transformation and regression. The broader implications for the show. From a broader perspective, this narrative shift could have far-reaching implications for the young and the restless. Soap operas thrive on the tension between stability and chaos, and a return to a more unpredictable Sally could infuse the series with fresh energy. The ensuing dynamics, whether in the boardroom at GC or within the intimate corridors of personal relationships, could lead to innovative storytelling that redefines the show's legacy. A more dynamic Sally would not only reinvigorate her own storyline but could also act as a catalyst for change among other characters, prompting them to re-examine their own choices and motivations. This evolution might even set a trend for other long-standing characters who have similarly found themselves boxed into roles that no longer resonate with the audience. The battle between the good girl and the bad girl is not just a personal conflict for Sally, it is a microcosm of the larger struggle between tradition and innovation in the world of daytime television. As viewers watch this evolution unfold, they are not just witnessing a character's transformation, they are experiencing the ever-changing landscape of narrative art, where every twist and turn is a reflection of societal shifts and the human condition. Conclusion. In conclusion, the call for Sally to abandon her current good persona and re-embrace her former, rebellious self is more than a mere fan fantasy. It is a potent narrative possibility that could redefine her character and invigorate the young and the restless as a whole. While her evolution into a seemingly dull figure has earned her respect and stability, it has also robbed the show of the raw, unpredictable energy that once made her a standout character. A renewed conflict, especially one pitting her against Phyllis Summers, could serve as the spark needed to reignite that fiery spirit. Whether this transformation will indeed come to pass remains to be seen, but it is clear that both fans and creators alike are yearning for the kind of dramatic, red-hot showdown that only a battle of the redheads can deliver. In the ever-turbulent universe of the young and the restless, change is the only constant. Fans have long cherished the complexity of its characters, and none have been more emblematic of transformation than Sally. Recently, the narrative has taken an intriguing twist as the dynamics between Sally and Billy become further complicated by the cunning machinations of Phyllis. With relationships teetering on the edge and alliances shifting like sand, the stage is set for a dramatic resurgence of the fiery spirit that once defined Sally. The question now on everyone's lips is, Do we want Sally to reclaim her old, audacious ways, or do we appreciate the evolved, more measured version of her? The unfolding drama, a love triangle under siege. Phyllis has re-entered the picture with a vengeance, stirring up trouble in the relationship between Sally and Billy. Her actions have not gone unnoticed. Chloe Fisher has even accused Sally of playing dirty to keep Billy by her side. In this high-stakes game of love and war, every gesture, every whispered conversation carries the potential to ignite explosive confrontations. Sally now finds herself at a crossroads. Should she abandon the refined, calculated persona she has recently cultivated, or should she let the old, rebellious impulses take the wheel once more? The situation is complicated by the fact that Sally is not entirely comfortable with the idea of resorting to manipulative tactics again. Yet, in the volatile environment of Genoa City, where loyalties shift and alliances are fleeting, the adage "all is fair in love and war" rings ever true. It seems inevitable that Sally might find herself sharpening her claws for an inevitable clash, a clash that could redefine not only her character but also the power dynamics at GC. A twist of fate, Phyllis's own predicament. Adding another layer of complexity to this narrative is Phyllis's own predicament. Recently, she has faced a very real and pressing crisis. She was kidnapped and sustained injuries, a situation that has put her in a vulnerable yet strategic position. In a dramatic turn of events, during the fourth episode aired on March 2nd, Phyllis proposes an unlikely alliance. In a moment of raw candor, she tells Sally that they should team up to save Billy. The proposal is as unexpected as it is tantalizing: two adversaries, each with their own agendas, joining forces for a common cause. This partnership, however, comes with its own set of explosive promises. It hints at a future where the lines between friend and foe blur, and where personal vendettas are temporarily set aside in favor of a greater, albeit transient, goal. As the two redheads contemplate this alliance, the fans can only imagine the fireworks that will ensue. The mere possibility of such a union has sparked debates among the audience, with many wondering if this could be the catalyst that will finally push Sally back into the realm of the unpredictable anti-heroine. The crossroads of identity: should Sally revert to being a thug? At the heart of this unfolding drama is a question that cuts to the core of character identity and evolution. For years, Sally has walked a tightrope between being a calculated schemer and a reformed, stable partner. Her past, filled with cunning maneuvers, devious plots, and unapologetic ambition, is a stark contrast to the more subdued, respectful figure she has become through her relationship with Billy. Yet, there is a part of her, an indomitable, fiery spirit, that still longs for the thrill of rebellion and the rush of adrenaline that comes with living on the edge. For some fans, the appeal of Sally lies in her former self, the woman who was unafraid to bend or even break the rules, who wielded her sharp wit and razor-edged charm like weapons. This faction of the audience wonders if it is time for Sally to shed the shackles of her newfound complacency and re-emerge as the thug she once was. They argue that a return to her wild, untamed persona would not only restore the excitement and unpredictability to her character but also set the stage for more dynamic interactions with other formidable personalities at GC. The calculus of change, balancing love and power. However, the decision to revert to her old ways is not without significant consequences. Sally's journey is not just about stirring up trouble for the sake of it, it is deeply intertwined with themes of love, loyalty, and personal growth. In her relationship with Billy, there exists a tension between her desire for passionate, unbridled romance and the need for stability and mutual respect. The current trajectory, which leans towards stability, has earned her a degree of respectability within the community, but at the cost of the edge that once defined her. Phyllis's involvement further complicates matters. By proposing a partnership to rescue Billy, a figure central to both of their lives, Phyllis is not only challenging Sally's current modus operandi but also inviting her to revisit the murkier waters of moral ambiguity. The stakes are higher than ever. Any misstep could lead to irreparable fractures in relationships that have been painstakingly built over the years. Yet, the potential for a narrative reset is equally tantalizing. An alliance with Phyllis, fraught with tension and unspoken rivalry, might serve as the perfect catalyst for Sally to rediscover her lost ferocity. The ripple effect on the GC landscape. The implications of Sally's potential transformation extend far beyond her personal journey. The Young and the Restless thrives on the intricate interplay of power, passion, and betrayal. A dramatic reversion of Sally's character could send shockwaves throughout the entire GC ecosystem. It would disrupt the delicate balance that has been maintained, forcing other characters to re-evaluate their alliances and strategies. Imagine the boardroom dynamics shifting as Sally reclaims her role as a wildcard, her renewed presence stirring up old rivalries and sparking new conflicts. Such a development could pave the way for innovative storytelling that challenges the conventional boundaries of the soap opera genre. In a world where every decision is laced with both personal and political ramifications, Sally's metamorphosis would serve as a poignant reminder of the perpetual conflict between order and chaos, a theme that resonates deeply with the core of Y&R. The fans' verdict, a call for boldness as the drama unfolds. One thing remains clear: the fans are divided. Some cherish the reformed Sally, a symbol of maturity and stability, while others yearn for the incendiary character of the past. The question posed to the Y&R community is as direct as it is provocative. Do you want Sally to become a thug once again, or do you truly appreciate her current incarnation? The passionate debates among viewers underscore the complexity of character evolution in long-running series. For many, Sally's past was a thrilling cocktail of cunning, seduction, and audacity, a combination that delivered some of the most memorable moments in the show's history. The prospect of her once again embracing that persona, especially in the context of a high-stakes alliance with Phyllis, is undeniably exciting. Such a transformation promises not just a revival of personal conflict but also a broader exploration of themes like redemption, identity, and the costs of ambition. Looking ahead, the promise of explosive drama. The coming episodes hold the promise of explosive drama. As Sally grapples with the allure of her old self and the responsibilities of her present, every decision will be laden with consequence. Will she choose to prioritize the love she shares with Billy? Or will the magnetic pull of her rebellious nature prove too powerful to resist? The delicate balance between maintaining personal integrity and indulging in the thrill of power plays is at the heart of this narrative crossroads. Phyllis's recent proposal, born out of her own crisis following a harrowing ordeal of kidnapping and injury, adds a compelling twist to the story. By suggesting an alliance to rescue Billy, she has effectively thrown down the gauntlet. This move forces Sally to confront the reality that sometimes, even in the midst of personal turmoil, there are opportunities for strategic alliances that can redefine the status quo. Whether this partnership is born out of genuine necessity or calculated self-interest remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the ensuing rivalry, punctuated by moments of unexpected cooperation, is poised to deliver some of the most riveting television in recent memory. Conclusion: the future of Sally, a choice for the ages. In conclusion, the future of Sally and the Young and the Restless hangs in the balance. The current narrative, with its intricate interplay of love, betrayal, and ambition, sets the stage for a monumental decision. Should Sally revert to the daring, sometimes ruthless character that once captivated audiences, or should she continue on her path of cautious reformation? As Phyllis fans the flames of rivalry and Chloe Fisher's accusations add fuel to the fire, Sally's internal struggle becomes a microcosm of the broader human conflict between passion and prudence. For fans, this isn't just another storyline, it's a call to re-examine the qualities that make characters truly unforgettable. The possibility of Sally rekindling her old fire promises not only to restore the high-octane drama that defined her early years but also to push the boundaries of storytelling on Y&R. Whether you root for the reformed Sally or the unapologetic, edgy version of her past, one thing is clear: the next chapter in her saga is set to be one of the most explosive and emotionally charged yet. So, Y&R fans, as you tune in to the next episodes, reflect on what you want from Sally's journey. Do you crave the familiar thrill of a renegade heroine, or does the promise of her evolution into a more grounded figure resonate with you? The answer to that question will not only shape the destiny of Sally but also redefine the narrative landscape of the Young and the Restless for seasons to come.